What's up, fans? Had a hell of a night last night. We talked a little bit after the main event. I'm updating you on what I know so far on Seth Rollins. Yes, it was confirmed. He was injured. And uh, LA Knight slipped my mind there. I've been busy all morning setting up links so people like you can join. The ones I sent it out to can join me. Let me know when they're ready to join in. I'll see them. They'll connect to the links that I have. I'm learning, like I said the other night, it's a day-by-day setup. I'm fired up. I'm ready to go. I don't know right now. I can check on the phone right now. It's supposed to ding me. The severity of Seth Rollins' injury, but this changes things by the thousands. What will the WWE do? There's going to be someone that's going to have to take that money in the bank briefcase if he's going to be out. I hear already a lot of clamoring. Yes, a dragon does smoke, so I guess you didn't figure that out. A lot of clamoring for Braun Breaker, of all people, already. I don't know if they're ready to push Braun Breaker. The years of experience I've had watching them, he's not ready. They're not ready to push him just yet. There's too many other storylines that are involved. I suggest if he's going to be out, I suggest they have an immediate qualifying, requalifying matches on Monday Night Raw. This is a great way to bring Roman Reigns back in if they're intending to bring him back in. Who will face Cody Rhodes now? Cena. Will Cody Rhodes beat Cena? Will he go heel? It's a perfect chance for Cody Rhodes to go heel, is what I mean. I think they should have a requalifying, because I won't be happy if they just hand it to Braun Breaker. Braun didn't do anything other than join up with Seth Rollins. And he's a badass, don't get me wrong. He just doesn't fit into this storyline right now. He was developing a storyline with LA Knight himself. And LA Knight is going to claim, since he beat Seth Rollins, he deserves the briefcase. Well, that's the Cena 1 and out. I mean, Cena's if Orton doesn't beat Cena, CM Punk doesn't beat Cena, get the hell out of my eyes if you think LA Knight is going to beat John Cena. Now, John Cena's got a lot of say on we all know that. Anybody that has watched wrestling, I could beat John Cena when I was younger. I could have danced all around it. You'd have seen me 20 years ago. I'd have had something like the slam dunk finisher on him. But I'd like to get all of your suggestions as you see this. If you want to join in, let me know. Like I said, I have my special authorities out there. Jared Durham. At some point, he's going to join in. And when he does, we're not talking wrestling. We're going to talk NFL. We're going to talk about the Browns. We're going to talk about the Steelers. We're going to talk about every team. Now I'm hearing all this chatter about Tampa Bay being the favorites now, up there with the Philadelphia Eagles. And let me know, I'm telling you right now out there in Philly, the Dragon Sword is no fan of any team that ever came from Philadelphia. The only sign of life of Philadelphia is the sign you are leaving Philadelphia. That's what I think of Philadelphia and most other towns too. I've never really been comfortable in any town that I've ever seen. But I will give you the chance in the background. I'll give you the chance to have your piece, have your say. I won't cut you off like Jim Rome does or give you 30 seconds to sound like you're a washing machine while you're trying to make fun of somebody else. This is a station right now that talks sports and motivates people. We don't insult people here. The only insulting comes from me. And I don't insult very often until the season starts and you become a Browns fan. Then you really learn how to insult things. But just the mere fact that I'm sitting here right now, you will learn about me and in the story that I put on the podcast, and I broadcast a little story, the epic rise and fall of Dragon Sword. They're almost going on now. Let's see. You add that up 2020, 26 years. 26 years it's been since the Dragon Sword was on top of the Mahoning Valley. And I mean flying high over the Mahoning Valley. Not just there, Akron, Canton. I took over Cleveland. These are radio stations. And remember, fans, when I did this, there was no cell phones. There were no towers. There were no computers. And God help me, thank God there were no AIs. I can't stand AIs. I'd like to take the AI system and suplex it right into the Atlantic Ocean. God damn, you ask that thing a question, it won't shut up. And you ask it another question, and it forgets what it's saying. God help us if AIs take over the world. So here we are, about 6 hours before Evoultion, just running test pilots to see what's going on. Anyone that happened to consider, they seen when Rollins hurt his knee before? It looked like the same injury to me last night and I already messaged him on Twitter, and that's what I need to do. I keep forgetting to give you the call letters out. If you have a question or a suggestion for the show, or you'd like to come on the show, I will allow anybody to come on here as long as it's an appropriate interview. If you have something you want to say, this isn't like a regular talk show. This is me and you. And you want to talk about sports, you don't just have to do like Infinity Sports Network. They're another one. Used to be one-on-one sports. Now imagine that, fans. They used to be called one-on-one sports. One-on-one was you and the radio host. And they had some great ones. They had Papa Joe Chevalier. For some of you older listeners that are out there, they had Larry Cutler. I don't know if any of you remember the fabulous Sports Babe. Oh, she was funny, though. I didn't like her, but she was funny. She was really, really funny. And as we move along here, now that I've learned how to do the link and send people links and put them in the chat room, there's a chat room here. You can ask questions through the chat room. You can also go to, let me see, Dragon Sword 425 at gmail.com. That's Dragon's Den 425. I'm the Dragon Sword. I apologize for that. I got to slow down a little bit. Dragon's Den 425 at gmail.com. If you want to help with this show, it's paypal.me/dragonsden321. That's paypal.me/dragonsden321. There's some cost to this show that I'm putting up right now. and anything will help us. As you get to learn about all this, I think you guys all out there will help out with the show to maintain it because I think you're really going to like it. This is you and me. I'm going to bring you high school football on Friday nights. I'm going to go around to the areas as I look at the chat box, as I look at the emails. I will put 3 games on there and you pick every game every week. Of those 3 games, I will bring it to you. If you're going to sit at home and you can't go out, this is a good show for people that can't get out and would like football. There'll be no commercials right now. There'll be nothing right now. You can live stream it, and people like that kind of stuff. Okay, you get into a good talk show. That what do they get? They talk for 9 minutes, and then they got 10 minutes commercials. They're losing a lot of stuff here. But I'm going to be on YouTube. I'm on Dragon's Den on YouTube. You look it up on YouTube, you'll find me babbling my mouth. Me running my mouth out there. But I got to get it out there, and I need you to put word of mouth out there. He's still alive. Dragon Sword is still here. Maybe a little bit older. I ain't going to say wiser. Someday we may even have the American luchador on here. Mr. USA himself. I don't know that it won't be long before he sees this and responds to me. Which generally we jab at each other, but we have the same idea in mind. We're for the USA. I'm USA all the way. There's one other thing on this show. No politics. Politics divides people, divides friendships. If you're young and you're struggling and you need someone to talk to, I speak to you positively. By the time I'm done listening, I'll listen to you and you hear my story, the things that I fought through in my life. I've gone through many adversities in my life, many, but I picked myself back up and moved the ball forward. Moving forward is a way of life. You cannot give up. It was, like I said, 28 was 1998, so we had 26 years ago. I was just had done, it was a Saturday, it was February 6th, 1998. And I don't tell this story very often. I think it's time that people knew what really happened to Dragon Sword. Why did he disappear? It just disappeared for almost a year and nobody heard from him. Well, friends, that's because Dragon Sword went to work. Dragon Sword has a name, and his personality is Dragon Sword. But as we know, I'm a human being too. My name is Daryl. I have been in this valley for 59 years. But I nicknamed myself the Dragon Sword only because of my brother Lyndon. We'll go over this again. We were drinking beer, partying, after work, out in the garage, listening to one-on-one sports. And WBBW 1240 AM Youngstown had something called the Fan Forum. And the Fan Forum was a genius idea by Pat Mulrooney. He was the producer that I would meet later on. in the story, in the story of what happened and how the dragon sword evolved. But I'm going to go back. I'm going to refresh you all. Go back to this here again in case you didn't see the other episodes. And this is 27 years ago. About it started. It was the springtime. I remember it was the afternoon, and the fan forum came on, and I had a green truck. I was working out of it, and I was doing hauling and moving and stuff. And I was married, just divorced, and I had two children. And I was remarried to my second wife, and I had a young son, a young baby boy, because it was 1990, 96. Yes, I had those three going back, because it's a haze sometimes going back when you get older, for one. Two, for the accident I had at work. So we were playing basketball and we were drinking and we were carrying on and we listened. And on comes this fan forum, and it's a bunch of people babbling on about the Browns. And you can call and you can make like 60-second comments, and they'd play it back in between commercials. It got to be pretty interesting on there. So I would always talk sports back then. I followed a lot of sports. I was very opinionated, and I was a loudmouth, and I was a redneck too. I enjoyed arguing with people. I enjoyed clamoring. I enjoyed clashing. I had learned a little bit, but I didn't know the radio business at the time. Is the fact that I was in acting. I knew some of the wrestling business, but I only knew the how to do a shoot, and that was it, like that there. Talk into a camera and do an interview. I knew how to do things like that. I had watched, Shawn Michaels kick Marty Jannetty through the window. One of my favorite scenes of all time. Heel turns. I love heel turns, especially if they'll make a good heel. Cena's not a good heel. I think you'd agree with me on that. As you can see, I can draw out the story on here and give you a whole bunch of stuff in between stories. It's like a tree with a million branches. That's how your life is. Your life is when you get older, you become this tree. And if you're smart enough and wise enough and make it through, you'll become a tree with a million different stories. And every leaf, every branch has a story and how it got there and how it got to be alive. That was the story right now that we're on right now. I called into there, and my brother said, "Call yourself the Dragon Sword, and I'll give a free T-shirt, a free Dragon's Den T-shirt, to the person that can identify what else or where would he have got Dragon Sword from." I'll give you just two clues to it. 1996 and green. That's all I'll say. Those are the two clues you get. 1996 and green. The first person to answer that question gets a free Dragon's Den T-shirt. Well, looking down at the board, looks like Mr. Rollins is going to be out quite a while. I'm going to take a 5-minute break, people. I want you to hang in there, and I will be right back with some more boring information to you, right? That's what I would say.